Okay, guys, we are on live. Welcome to all. Rabotai, today we have a very sharp topic or subject. Today we want to speak about the importance of giving Talmidei Chachamim. You know what's a Talmid Chacham, correct, Richard? A student of Torah, a person that learns Torah.
Learned scholar.
Right, a Torah scholar. Thank you, Elon. Torah scholar. And rabbis, we want to speak about the importance of the respect that has to be given to Torah scholars. Let's put it like that. I want to speak about two stories in the Gemara, and then I want to go ahead and show you how severe the sin is of disrespecting rabbis. A lot of you guys are probably aware of the way people treat rabbis. I see it openly with my eyes. And I don't think people realize the severity of the sin. The Gemara brings down a story. I'm going to say the names, Richard. You might not understand the names of the rabbis, but they're just rabbis, big rabbis. And I want to just show you what the Gemara says. The Gemara says that there were three giant rabbis. One of them was Rav Huna, the son of Manoach. That was his name. Another one was Rav Shmuel, the son of Edi. And the third one was Rav Chia. They used to always learn Torah from a rabbi by the name of Rava. So far, so good, Richard?
Rabbi.
Okay. When Rava died, when their teacher passed away, they had to go and find themselves a new teacher who's going to teach them Torah. So who did they go before? Who did they learn Torah with, Jigarik? They learned Torah with Rav Papa. Their rabbi Rava died, and they went to learn Torah now with Rav Papa. Here we go. Comes the Gemara says, anytime Rav Papa would say a teaching that was not in line with the rabbi's teaching, Rava who passed away, they would look at each other and they would hint at each other, like, what is he saying? You know, the Gemara says he became very upset. Rav Papa became very upset. Can you imagine giving a class, Jigarik, and then in the middle, let's say in your office, people are, hinting to one another. I don't care what they're hinting. Over here, they were hinting to each other like we don't agree with him. Say it again.
Like a delusional remark.
Right, but I mean, they were not doing nothing wrong. As he was teaching them, they would just look at each other saying, like, what is he saying? Like, what kind of, where did he get this Torah from? And what happened was...
Lashon Hara, no, Rabbi?
No, one second. During the lecture, while he's teaching them, they're looking at each other, they're disapproving of his teaching.
They're rolling their eyes and stuff like that. Right.
Rabotai, listen what happened. Rav Papa went to sleep that night. They showed him in his dream a verse. The verse said, I will destroy the three shepherds. Do you know what that means, Shigarik? When it says, I will destroy the three shepherds? This verse was really going on three giant people in the Torah. It was going on Moshe Rabbeinu, it was going on Aharon HaKohen, and it was going on Miriam, their sister. The Gemara Masechet Ta'anit on page 9, side 1 states that in the merit of Moshe Rabbeinu, we had the man. You guys know what the man is, correct? Right? Like the heavenly food which would come from heaven, and then we would be able to eat it, right? Whatever we made it, that's what it was. Yes, you guys are with me so far?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta see responses. If you guys don't know what I'm saying, you guys are gonna just get lost.
No, we're with you. Rabbi.
Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu, in his merit, we got the man. In the merit of Aharon HaKohen, we got the Amud Anan, the pillar of cloud.
Clouds of glory.
Which is called the clouds of glory. What did they do, Jigarik? You remember, they used to walk in the desert.
Right.
So if that cloud of glory would protect the Jewish people, and it would flatten anything in their way, it would literally pave their way. So that protection was in the merit of Aharon. And then we also had the be'er, the well where we drink the water from, in the merit of Miriam. The problem is, when Miriam died, Hashem took away that merit. But then he gave it back in the honor of Aharon. When Aharon died, Hashem took away the cloud of glory and the water well. But Hashem gave it back because of Moshe. Now Moshe has Jigarik with him what? 3 things. Because of him we have the man, this food that came down from heaven. We have the pillar of cloud, the cloud of glory. And we also have the water well. When Moshe Rabbeinu said, when Moshe Rabbeinu died, all of these three things were no longer with us. We lost everything. This verse is going on Moshe, Aharon, and Miriam. Hashem said they all 3 died. Hashem destroyed all of them. You hear? It's a language in the Torah. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. What does this language of Moshe, Aharon, and Miriam have to do with Rav Papa and his dream? How does this apply?
And why use the language of destroying, like when we knew Hashem loved him?
Right, but again, because of the Jewish people's sins, we lost. When we lost Moshe, we lost the man. We lost Aharon, we lost the Anana Kavod. You understand? When we lost Miriam, we lost the Be'er. That's what was really destroyed. Now here we go, Rabotai. This verse has nothing to do with Rav Papa in his dream. What does Moshe Rabbeinu, Aharon, and Miriam have to do? So you know what the Gemara states? The Gemara says when we began learning this class, you remember the 3 names of the rabbis, Jigarik? The first one was Rav Huna. The second one was Rav Shmuel. The third one was Rav Chia. You guys are with me?
Yeah.
They used to learn before Rava. When Rava died, they started learning before Rav Papa. When Rav Papa would teach, they would hint to each other they're not satisfied with his teaching. Rav Papa became upset. He went to sleep that night. You ready for this, Jigarik? Hashem showed him the same verse. I will destroy the 3 shepherds. You know who he was talking about? These 3 students. He says, I'm going to kill these 3 students. Rashi says, what happened? What happened? Rashi says, they're going to punish them in heaven because they shamed the rabbi. They shamed the rabbi, the Talmud Chacham, this Torah scholar. Since they shamed him, they embarrassed him, their punishment was what, Jigarik? Death. The Gemara says, when he woke up in the morning, Rav Papa saw this dream. According to one version, you know what Rav Papa said? He got upset with the students, so you know what he told them? Lech beshalom. Now, Richard, we have to understand what I just said. There's 2 ways you can say go in peace. I can say go in peace, or I can say go with peace. So the language is, you got it. If I say lech leshalom, it's a good thing. If I say lech beshalom, it's a bad thing. When I say go with peace, meaning you should have peace for the rest of your life, you're dead. Chas v'shalom. You do this when people die. The Gemara Masechet Berachot on page 64, side 1 states, everybody knows who Yitro was, correct? Moshe Rabbeinu's father. Listen to this. It says over there, let me find it.
Moshe Rabbeinu's father-in-law, right, Rabbi?
Father-in-law, thank you, Michela. Thank you so much. Moshe Rabbeinu's father-in-law. Let me just get it right over here. Yes. He says over here, Rav Avina Levi said, whenever you leave your friend, don't tell him lech beshalom. Never use that language. Eila lech leshalom. Don't tell him go with peace. Rather tell him go for peace. Why? Yitro, he told Moshe Rabbeinu lech leshalom. What happened to Moshe Rabbeinu? He became great. He says, David, he told his son Avshalom, lech beshalom. What happened? He was killed. He passed away. So we see from over here the language, the way that you say that exactly what's going to happen. So comes this rabbi was so upset with the students, you know what he told them? Lech beshalom. Go with peace. He wanted them to die. That's according to one way to understand the Gemara. Rabotai, I want to try to elaborate on this teaching before we move forward. A lot of times,
Rabbi, isn't it?
Go ahead.
Isn't it? I mean, we have to love a Jew the same way as we would love ourselves.
You can love a Jew the same way, but the respect must be given to Talmidei Chachamim. They deserve proper respect. You have to remember, Jigarik, they give up a lot to sit and learn Torah. They're not any regular Joe Schmo for you, correct? They do a lot. If it wouldn't be for them, we would have no world. You understand that? It's because of their merit we are successful. If there's no Torah, there's no world. You understand that? This is what we have to understand. So if you have a person that's sustaining you, how can you embarrass him? How can you shame him? Yes, you guys are with me?
Yes.
Now, it is very important to note outside of the story, I just want to make a few comments. A lot of times you can have a rabbi that is giving a class. You got it, I know what's so funny that I'm about to knock somebody out. You have to remember, when a rabbi is giving a class, imagine after Shacharit, correct? After the morning prayers, the rabbi is speaking. Half of the people putting their talit and tefillin away, correct? Yes? Half of the people are walking back and forth. The other half are speaking. The other half are making some coffee. The other half are on the phone. Tell me, is that disrespectful or not? Go ahead, breathe. You got to breathe. Speak all you want. Let me get Richard on. You got to take a break today. You could take a break. Richard, I'm going to pin you, Richard. Richard, Jigarik is just tired today. Richard, I made you bigger. Can you tell me, Richard, if it's disrespectful while a rabbi is teaching to be doing other things? Let's start from there.
I would say it's disrespectful, but I'm going to give you, everybody's got a life.
Rich, exactly. I agree with you, everybody's got a life, but not at the time when the rabbi is teaching. If you want to take care of your life, do it outside of the synagogue. Agreed? Sometimes you have the rabbi that is teaching, people open up and they're looking at a newspaper, what they're going to read next. What does that mean? Where's the respect? You don't like what the rabbi is saying, make sure next time don't walk into the class. But not in front of everybody, because what happens? The rabbi could become upset. If the rabbi becomes upset, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Scary.
No, it's very dangerous. That's why even if I want to learn Torah when another rabbi is teaching, I'm not allowed to do it. You know that, right? We're not allowed to do it. Because we have to show the utmost respect to the Talmid Chacham.
But I have a question.
Yeah, Mike.
I have a question around this.
Speak to me.
Very often,
Mike, nice to hear your voice again. Go ahead.
Thank you. Very often, it's usually the rabbis that have their either book or Gemara or something open while something is happening in the shul.
While something is happening, or while give me an example,
while
Mike.
Someone is teaching, while some services are going on.
Excellent. You're saying very good, Mike. If the services are in the middle of the repetition of the 18 prayer blessing, I don't care who you are not allowed to have your book open. If the rabbi is teaching to the whole synagogue and you're part of that congregation, you're not allowed to have a book open. You are right, Mike.
But isn't it what? So, 1 second.
So, Rabbi, I'm sorry, while he's doing that.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Ruben. I was going to say, the rabbi is teaching because the rabbi wants to teach, right? So the rabbi is not teaching because he wants you to learn. You learning is your choice. Him teaching is his choice. I get the disrespect part, but ultimately he's doing it for his own merit, right? He's not doing it for anyone else's merit. So why should he take it some way?
Okay. You're asking a very, very good question, Mike. So you have to remember, Mike, when a Talmid Chacham has to learn something on his own, he will learn much more at a faster pace than when he has to teach it over. If you have to make money right now yourself, you'll probably make much more money than starting again with somebody else that's only beginning a business. So whenever we are teaching, we are giving of our time, at least respect those few minutes or that half an hour, however long the rabbi is teaching. You understand, Mike? It's about, having the proper ethics. If somebody is speaking to you, forget about learning Torah for a second. If I'm speaking to you and you look at your phone, that's disrespect. But when you're dealing with the Torah scholars on another level.
No, I agree about the disrespect part, 100%.
Okay? So yes, you have a very solid point. If the rabbi is teaching...
Rabbi, question, Rabbi.
Yeah.
Talmid Chacham, a rabbi, doesn't he have to have kaf zchut for the people who like the Benonim, the middle class or the lower class? Kaf zchut to have ayin tov, not be judgmental, hurt someone's feelings.
Correct.
Must. How's that? It's a mixture here right now.
Correct. So this we're going to tell you that as long as you're not upsetting the rabbi. It's a very different law, Ephraim, when you're dealing with a regular person versus a Talmid Chacham. The Gemara states, Kol Talmid Chacham she'eino nokem kenachash eino Talmid Chacham. If you have a Talmid Chacham that does not take revenge like a snake, you know what snakes do? They kill people, they poison them. With their poison, they die. If you have a Talmid Chacham that overlooks a lot of things, he's not a real Talmid Chacham. He's not fighting for his honor, he's fighting for the honor of the Torah. This is what's brought down at Ephraim in Masech Shabbat on page 119, side 2. Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, anytime anybody who embarrasses a Talmid Chacham, he does not have any healing for the wound that he's going to incur because he embarrassed the rabbi. Even you're right, the rabbi can look at it in a favor, but you remember, you did not disrespect the rabbi, you disrespected the Torah that he's teaching. If it's anybody else, you're right, give him the dalakav zchut. If my wife wrongs me, beseder, no problem. If it's on a business level, look at it, like you're saying. But when it comes to Torah, if you are in the room, you must give them the proper respect. I'll give you an example. I was in Yeshua, and there was a very, in my eyes, he was a very chashuvah person, very important person. As he was speaking, people, want 2 minutes, people to speak 3 minutes. Okay, so he went about 10 minutes of speaking. Somebody in the audience started telling him, Jigarik, okay, hello, have a seat. We got the point. Come on, Jiggy. Believe me, if I was...
But that's 1 or 2 out of 50, 100.
But that's not... okay, that's exactly where we are wrong. It's not 1 of 2. It's our obligation to stand up and defend the Talmidei Chachamim. If you have 1 or 2, all you need is 1 or 2 rotten apples to make everybody go bad. You understand? It's very important on our end, when we respect the Talmidei Chachamim, we show that we're respecting the Torah. You know what the Gemara says, Jigarik? People want to kiss the Sifrei Torah. The Gemara says they're stupid. Why you want to kiss the Sefer Torah and you don't kiss a Talmid Chacham? He's a living Sefer Torah. I'm not, Jigarik, now take it easy. Don't do that, Jigarik.
Get over it. I want to give you a kiss.
Okay.
Right now,
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Now, Rabotai, you know what was bothering me, Jigarik? Yeah. Always Elon. Go ahead.
You say you gotta kiss him. He's a living Sefer Torah. When the guy is 100, Unfortunately, today many people have different names and different characters, and they show, and people look at rabbis in a different eye. Unfortunately, this person that you say you have to go and give the utmost respect and not to disturb, not to offend. This is when he's 100 with the Torah also.
Elon, that is the halakha that's brought down in Sibn Reish Mem Gimel. In your day, that's 243 in halakha number 3. If you have a Talmid Chacham that he takes mitzvot lightly, he doesn't take them seriously.
Does that apply to a fufu? Does that apply to a fufu?
No, it does not. No, it does not. No, it does not. If you have a Talmid Chacham who belittles mitzvot, he's no different than anyone else. You're right, I agree with you, Ilan. If you see that the guy is a fufu, what are you respecting? We speak about real Talmidei Chachamim. I'm not speaking about any Joe Shmo. Just because he knows how to speak well and he's able to read the Yalkut Yosef, doesn't mean he's a Talmid Chacham. You understand? A person who's a Talmid Chacham, who's able to learn Gemara, who's able to learn Halakha, Shulchan Aruch, open, his midot are refined. He doesn't curse. Come on, there's certain things. I was one time in a certain shul, there was a chazan. Wow. The way he sang, he could take out your soul from your place, Jigarik. I went to 7-Eleven by accident. Nah, just happened to be there. Not by, just happened to be there. We were going out with my wife and the family to Grill Point. I don't know if you know, on Main Street. And I see him over there smoking with his friend, and he's spitting and he's cursing. I said to myself, I ain't davening in that shul no more. Close deal. You're right, Elon. If you see these kind of Talmidei Chachamim, there's nothing what to talk about. They're only cover-up. They use the Torah as a cover-up. I'm not speaking about that, Elon. I'm speaking about people that are serious. Not any Joe Schmo. I agree with you, Elon. That I agree with.
Well, just wanted you to clarify.
Yes, thank you. But I wanted to see, Richard, if this is a halakha in the Shulchan Aruch, in the court of law. You got to get ready? I couldn't believe this halakha. I honestly, I didn't see this halakha. I learned it in the Gemara, but I never saw this halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. You got to look what it says. In Simon Rishman Gimel, 243 in Yoredeya, I know Yaakov the lawyer always likes to look these things up. In halakha number 6, look what he says, Shigarik, you want to hold on to your seat? Avon gadolhu, it's a great sin, levazot talmidei chachamim, to embarrass talmidei chachamim, or listen otam, or to hate them, v'chol hamevazet chachamim, anybody who shames Torah scholars, ein lo chelek leolam haba. You know what I just said, Shigarik? He has no portion in the world to come.
So, Rabbi, I want to clarify.
Wait, before you clarify, I want to tell you something, Jigarik. I hope this doesn't get to the other side of the world, because it happened to me somewhere else. I hope it doesn't get there. But if it does, I don't care, because you know me. I was sitting somewhere, Richard, listen to this. I was giving a class in a certain place. So I guess, the president of the shul tells me, Rabbi, you have a few minutes to finish your Divrei Torah, to finish your class. You know what I told him? I said, brother, you got it upside down. If I don't finish my words of Torah, you're not starting praying mincha. I killed the guy on the spot. You can't do that. You can't speak like that to rabbis. You can't do that. So somebody told me, Rabbi, do you know how much money he has? I said, I don't know how much money he has. I don't care. When I see you, I see Hashem. For me, it makes no difference. You have money. Doesn't make no difference, I told them. People were shocked. They're like, wow, I don't care, Richard. I don't care, Richard. Makes no difference. Why, Richard? He has no portion in the world to come.
So, Rabbi,
wait, I'm not finished. One more point. Comes the Ramah. You know what the Ramah says? You're not allowed to use a person that teaches halachot, and how much more so a person that teaches Gemara for your own benefit. For example, Jigarik, you pull up, let's say, to Rabbi Chiyai or Rabbi David's house, correct? And you say, Rabbi, I brought you your stuff, whatever they ask. Can you come out and get it? No, you can't say that. You can't use them for your advantage.
You gotta hand deliver it.
Yeah,
I'm actually guilty of that.
No, but this is, I see how Richard left. Guys, you should know when Richard leaves, he has to go. Yeah.
I had a very similar scenario where I actually had to call Rabbi Yair and ask him to come out. So what does that mean? That means that now I no longer have a share.
No, Chas v'shalom, that's not no, you didn't shame him. It just says, the Ramah says it's forbidden for you to use a Torah scholar that teaches Torah, halachot and Gemara. If he teaches, you can't use them for your own benefit. You can't ask him to do things on your behalf. You can't say, okay, Rabbi, put my tefillin over there. Or you can't tell me, Rabbi, can you make me my coffee? These things can be happen. It doesn't happen. I'm just, saying.
Hold on. When the rabbi asked me, you want green tea? And I said, no, you insisted. That put me in a situation.
No, I like making my tea myself. No,
but you offered me one time.
Okay, I offered you, but you can't use me as that. I offered it to you. It's one thing. But
so if the rabbi asked,
but you can't use
you were supposed to deny it.
Okay, next time I'll deny it, Elon, if that makes you feel better.
No, you know what I'm saying? I said, you offered me one time.
I remember. I was like 70 years ago. I remember.
The right thing to do is to say no, thank you, like not to have the rabbi do something for you.
Yeah, but I offered on my hand. But I'm saying over here where you can't use Talmidei Chachamim that teach halacha and Gemara to your advantage. You can't ask them to do things.
You can't ask for it. But that, Rabbi, that comes back to respect, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just an aspect of respect. It's like you respect someone that's older than you. You respect someone that's a teacher.
Mike, you're saying very good, but Mike, you have to remember, a rabbi is held in a very, very high level in the eyes of Hashem, and should also be held in a very high level in the eyes of people. We're not the regular people, Mike. We're not like everyone else, you understand? It's two different caliber. You can't compare a person who's a doctor and a person who's a nurse. You can't compare the two. To a doctor, you'll speak completely different. To versus a nurse, you'll speak completely different.
As human beings or as career?
No, I'm talking about right now. If let's say you are in a business together with a nurse and a doctor, as a career, I say, if you're outside, for example, let's say my wife asks me for something else, no problem. My father have an obligation, no problem. If I want to help, I can help. But people have to understand they can't use Torah scholars that teach halachot. Now, Mike, you have to pay attention on what I'm saying. Teach halachot.
Use?
Yeah.
Can you define use? What do you mean by use?
You call me Mike.
Like in Ruben's example, if the rabbi asked me to bring him something, and I'm bringing something, I call Rabbi, I'm outside.
Correct.
You're saying I'm using him because I'm making him come down, get what he asked me to
Correct.
bring?
So what you have to do is you have to go closer to his door, make it easier for him.
You shouldn't inconvenience the rabbi. I brought it.
I know, I understand, but I'm just trying to bring out the point. You have to come to the door. Maybe I want to give you a stronger example. Okay. For example, I went to a bagel store. You say, Rabbi, can you buy me a bagel with cream cheese? You can't do that. Right? You can't ask me to do things on your behalf. That you cannot do.
So basically not allowed to inconvenience the Talmid Chacham.
Correct. Not Eli, I didn't say the Talmid Chacham. Eli, I said a person who teaches Torah to the public.
So not all Talmidei Chachamim teach Torah to the public.
That's exactly. They can't use them. I'm speaking about people that teach Torah. And the Shulchan Aruch says a person that Shemesh. Let me read the language. Over here. The Ramah says, "V'asur l'shamesh b'mi sheshoneh halachot." It's forbidden for one to use somebody who teaches halachot. Right? He's on a different caliber now. Yeah, any Torah scholar you cannot embarrass. But when it comes using them, who can't you use? The regular Talmid Chacham, no problem. You know, like Mike said right now, you want to ask him, no problem, respect. But a person who teaches halakha, for example, you know what you got to let me ask you a question. Let's take Rabbi Yeshua, for example. You know Rabbi Yitzchak Yeshua? Okay, let me take, this guy's big, right? He teaches Torah to the public. He knows his stuff. Now let me ask you a question. Would you in the right state of mind ever tell him, come get the bag, come bring me coffee, bring me a bagel? Oh, that's it. But a regular Talmid, let's say you see a boy learning Torah. You say, can you bring, no problem, no big deal. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Two different calibers.
But how do we know which one is which? How do we know?
So you see who teaches. You see who teaches. Who teaches the public. You could see. You have to know your Torah. You have to know.
So I have more of a technical question because
go ahead.
In House of Torah, Saturday, Mincha, between Mincha and Arvit, we have the lunch, right?
The Sudah Shalashit, correct.
Sudah Shalashit, there we go. Sudah Shalashit. If you notice, we have Rabbi Davidov on one corner. We have Rabbi Hiyayev on another corner. We usually have Mr. Badalov on the other corner with a group of guys. We have a few small little pockets here and there. What are we saying? That Rabbi Davidov, I don't want to say his name, we're all in violation?
Violation of what?
When Rabbi Hiyayev is speaking?
No, why? No, but he has his own group. He's teaching his own class. One thing has nothing to do with another. You got it. He's not part of Rabbi Chayev's class. If you have 10 groups in the synagogue, you got it. No big deal. You go with the group that you want. But when you're learning
Let me give you an example. Today in the morning, I came to pray. You were speaking. I was praying.
You weren't praying.
I came a little late.
You still didn't start praying. You still didn't start praying.
Huh?
You still didn't start praying. Even if you would start praying, it would be nothing wrong because you came for the second minute. You didn't come for me. The people in the first minute have to worry about this, not you. You understand? The people, I speak to the people in the first minute, not to the second people, or the people in the second minute.
But it's the people from the second minute that come and interrupt and there's talking.
I wish that was the case, Elon, I wish that was the case. Baba Mises, leave it alone. That's not the case, Elon. I don't blame the people in the second minute, I blame the people in the first minute. Stop telling me stories. Okay, Rabotai.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
What happens if the guy is supporting the Talmid Chacham and he feels like he has a little edge on him because he's supporting him, he's feeding him?
Aaron, make no mistake. The only one that's being fed over here is the one that's making money from the Torah that he's supporting.
I understand that.
No, you
but
don't.
You understand my question?
I understand your question. You have no edge over the Talmud Chacham. Absolutely not. Nothing. Zero zilch. The reason why he's successful is because he helped Talmud Chachamim. Try it, Aaron. Take the money away from the Talmud Chacham and see how much he's going to start making. We make a very grave mistake. We think, in the Gemara, there's a story that's brought down when they were carrying the Aron, the ark. I forgot the name of the person. Elon, you remember the Gemara we learned? When he tried to go out and he wanted to catch...
It was this week's Haftarah.
What?
It was in this week's Haftarah.
I know, but the Gemara brings down that, Jigarik, the Gemara brings down that when the Aron was about to fall, he tried to support it. Hashem killed him on the spot. He was teaching him, you don't support the Aron supports you. Rabotai, we have to get this, the stuyot from outside our head, the stupidness. That we think we support the Torah. No. The Torah supports us. If it wouldn't be for the Torah, we would have no life. If you pay close attention, wherever there's Jews, there's prosperity, there's wealth. It's because of those people that sit and learn Torah. So if a person feels that he's giving money and because of him he has an edge over the Talmud Chacham, he should go see a doctor. There's no such a thing. Yeah, we tell him thank you, but at the same time he has to realize it's that Torah that's protecting him.
It's his opportunity.
Aaron, you're here? You with me? Aaron, you still there?
Rabbi John, bad job.
Big John Joel.
I'm here.
You understand? And I'll tell you something, Aaron, a lot of people, unfortunately, this is where people break. You understand? People that are wealthy and they support Talmidei Chachamim or big rabbis, then they make them do things that, according to Allah, you're not allowed to do it. That's a very big problem. The real Talmidei Chacham, the real Rabbanim are going to tell you, even with all your support, we're not going to be able to do it. If the Torah doesn't allow it, the Torah does not allow it. We don't bend for nobody, you understand? If anybody has to bend, it's the other people, not the Torah. If you guys have any more questions, I will take it. If not, B'ezrat Hashem, you guys will have tomorrow Beilin Neder Natanel, and then you're going to have Rabbi Aaron Golfitz. Next week, we're going to probably have also Rabbi Avi Solomonov, B'ezrat Hashem.